everybody! I'm so sorry. Time zones! I'm just going to make sure I can see everybody before we begin. Hopefully, you've had a moment to actually download the project files. I'm just going to make sure I head on over. Apparently, I'm not in daylight savings anymore, and I thought I was. Let me just wobble my way down to behance.net/Adobe Live. For those that are watching on YouTube, please do check out our community on Behance. I'm coming! I'm coming! Oh, there's me. I see it. There we go. Hi, Cody! Hi, Curtis! I was in. I saw the chat. I lost the chat. I see the chat. Here we go. Are we here? Okay, I'm here. I can see it. Phew. Hi, Anki. Hi, Gareth. Hi, RB. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. We are 7 minutes in, so please take a look at the chat to download your files in advance. Today we're actually working on animated outros. Ooh, my thing's just popping away, not allowing me to stay on this page. Just want to make sure we don't lose you lots. There we go. Thank you, Cody. So your project files are down below. Today we're going to be working on animated outro. So for you lot, that means we are going to be working with the files that Helise left us from her last set of streams, doing that podcast earlier. We can see you too, thank goodness. And what we're going to do is make a nice, flashy, but simplistic, but again, it's kind of different in today's world when you're doing social media stuff. You don't necessarily need an intro, but this could be used for an outro. It could be used for maybe a tiny one, maybe not just for logos, maybe just for text, but something that's simple, professional looking, but still really, really nice. So let me go ahead and grab my files, and thank you so much for waiting for me. How is everybody's day? And where is everybody talking and chatting from? If you're from London, like I am, I think you might also be shocked. I'm very shocked, and now I have to rework out my days. Alrighty, here we go. I've got my file. Let's take a little look-see. It's been a great time so far. Ooh, what did you lot do earlier? England have academic time 5 minutes after normal time. Wait, what do you mean? Robert, please. Robert, that sounds like a lot of shade. Sounds like a lot of shade. Thank you very much. Oh, wait, Steve, are you joining in on this shade? Look, I just came to like do some challenges with you, and here I am getting shaded up. What's happening? What's happening? Well, at least but at least it let you know, Steve. Oh yeah, great day here in Central Texas. Wow, Curtis. I hope it's hot. That's the only thing that I hear about Texas. It's just really, really hot. It's never hot in London, really. When it is, we're not ready for it. Would be great for your current project. Woo! What are you working on? Okay, so I've given you a file, and your file starts with 2 video files, but of course you can use any videos you like. Maybe you're working on a piece at the moment. You could totally do this with that piece instead of the files that I've given you. But to give the outro a little bit of a start, I've got these 2 videos for you. The first thing that we're going to do is do a match cut. So a match cut is when something's moving, and then when the next screen happens, the next thing is moving in the same direction. So for instance, if Helise looked to the right, I could have something also move to the right. You might notice it a lot in movies, that maybe somebody's chopping something and then suddenly it changes into something else that's being dropped maybe. It's a really, really cool, useful effect that's very useful in all walks of animation and in movie and video editing. So I have actually left you a little link or a little marker at the top which says cut here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you've got your After Effects open and your files ready, just to snap to any marker, drag and hold Shift. That allows you to snap to whatever you're trying to snap to, rather than wobbling around trying to make sure you've got it correct. We're going to cut this by holding Control, Shift, and D. Boop. Awesome. So now we know, once this is done, it should change into something else. You could totally have maybe another video here, but for now, I just want a plain color. like in our example. So in the bottom left where our sources are, I'm going to right click, go to new, go to solids, and I'm going to pick a color from Helisa's top to try to keep it uniform. So I'm just going to grab this one here, and I'm going to click and drag from the start, just so I can make it go flush. Or if you wanted to, and you really like using keyboard shortcuts, if you head on over to the side where it says cut here, you can hold Control, Shift, and D, cut it that way, and then just delete the other half by pressing delete on your keyboard. Alrighty, so now we've got this, and then it cuts. Doesn't look that interesting yet, because I want our match cut to be a zooming match cut. So in order to do that, I'm gonna need to zoom the last video in. So let's click on our last video. We're gonna press S for scale, and I'm gonna scale it in. Or zoom is also scale, scale is zoom. Let's click the stopwatch. I'm going to copy this keyframe, that's Control and C, move all the way down to the other end, and Control and V. There we go. Lovely. Now we've pasted the exact same keyframe, so it means it's not going to move yet, but it will in a second. Actually, I think, let's see what this zoom's going to do. Bearing in mind of where the anchor is, that's where the action's going to happen. So let's take a look. I think I want it to zoom from the middle of her glasses. So before we zoom, just going to undo that, move it here. Let's test the scale. Yep, I like that. And let's pop that down yet again. And I need this to zoom in. So I'll pull it out just a little bit, just so I can see it. And we're going to click and drag on the blue numbers to scale in. Doesn't really matter too much how far it goes. We can always tweak it afterwards. I'm just going to move these back to where I had them. And we're going to highlight both of the keyframes. Right click, go to keyframe assistant. It's underneath my head? No. Go to easy ease, which is like right there. Or you can use the shortcut. So we've got a really, really quick zoom. Hi, Laura. Welcome on in, lovely. This is the match cut hour. So we're learning how to make a very simplistic but effective outro. Right now, we want this to kind of zoom in from afar. So we've done our little scale here. We're going to go over to the graph editor and we're going to edit this. I want this to take a tiny bit of time to come out, but I also want it to kind of snap on the other end. So I'm going to click or click and drag, whatever's good for you. I tend to click and drag so I don't miss anything. And we're going to grab the yellow handle and drag it down. I'm going to pull it all the way down, see how it goes. But that gives me a slow in and then an immediate. How do we fix it, Pixie? Well, I mean, if Penny was here, you know, I told Penny. I told Penny that whenever you're here, it's like if we're doing any animation thing, how do we fix it, Penny? We fix it, or for the playback, to make a nice zoom in effect, all you have to do is go into the graph editor, grab your two keyframes, maybe drag it out. If the keyframes are farther apart, it moves slower. And we're just going to drag this out, or the handle out. The longer it is, or the wider it is, the slower it moves. The closer it is, the faster it moves. That's why when it gets here, it kind of snaps up immediately. Let's take a look. Ah, that's more like it. This is quite meta, is it? Is it? Ooh, Arnold. There we go. So now we've got a little... Love it. Love it. Not the WD-40. Okay, so we've got the first half. We've got a nice zoom in, and then we've got a different color, but nothing else is going on here. How do we make this part match the match cut? Well, we're going to stick in a logo. I've actually given you lot a few different logos. So if you've got your file open in After Effects, head on up to the project window and take a logo that you like. You can do this with any of them, but I think I'm going to do it with the Adobe icon because it's got lots of different colors on it. That's great. Thank you. I've not even started yet, but you're so kind. Laura, thank you, lovely. If you want to join along with the challenge, please take a look in the chat below. Cody Bear will repost that link for you. So you can do this on any project that you like. Could be a YouTube video, could be a social media video. It's all good. All right, so let's say this is my logo. Great. I'm going to leave it here. We're not going to do anything to it yet because I'm going to make a null. The null is an empty object, but it can be the controller of many things. So I'm going to put this here. It doesn't really matter where you put it, but it might help if you change its color or change its name just to help you move quickly while you work. So let's say driver, DRV for driver. I'm going to change the color as well. Oops, something else already has that color. There we go. And I'm just going to connect this logo to it. Lots of other things are going to be connected to it too, but for now, let me grab this. To make the match cut work, because this zoomed in, we have to have it continue to zoom in. Alana Flowers! Hello, lovely. Shout out to Alana Flowers in the chat there. I've got my scale. And let's have a similar distance. We've copied it and we've moved it over and pasted it. We're going to hit F9 or right click, keyframe assistant and easy ease. And let's make this get a little bit bigger. So this way, when the match cut happens, it's going to continue to zoom, but we need it to be a little bit more snappy. So let's select our keyframes back into the graph editor. And we're going to do that U shape again, but in the opposite direction, because this is now higher. So I'm going to grab this one, pull it over, maybe drag it up a little bit. Pull this one over. Because this is shorter, that means it's going to happen nigh on immediately. So let's drag it down a little bit to give it a nice little bit of a smoothness. Maybe not too smooth. Let's see what it looks like. Ah! Ooh, hold on. We got it. Right, that's looking smooth. So in order for you to get a nice match cut, have something move in one direction and have the next thing continue to move in that way. So we've technically done part one. What's next? Okay, let's go to our logo. How are you doing, by the way, Alana? Now, the logo's kind of going to move against this. I want it to act like a button. So I'm going to put my scale down again. Hi, Curtis. Hi, Arnold. Hey, Arnold. Ah, my 90s babies. Okay, to make it bop like a button, I'm going to have it be small, get big, and then relax. So I'm just going to copy and paste my keyframe 3 times. Make it a little bit smaller. It's going to be a bit bigger. And then it's going to settle. That might be too big. Hold on. Let's find a nice settling point, shall we? And do it all right. Yeah! I saw you had another... You were hosting another artist the other day. We love to see more Alana out here. And we're going to do easy ease on all of it. I wasn't a keyboard shortcut person in the beginning, but I am now. So we've done an easy ease on that. Nice. If we don't want to go back into the graph editor, just move different bits closer together to give you that nice little pop effect. Remember, the further apart they are, the slower it moves. The closer they are, the faster it moves. Great. Okay, there's something else that I want. I want that nice kind of sparkly effect. So for now, I'm just going to press T for transparency. Move this down a little bit. Wait, shall I? No, we'll have it on top for now. You'll see what I mean. Let's go up to the object. Let's grab our ellipse tool. Let's grab the fill and let's grab a color from the logo. So if you've got your own logo or you're using a different logo, or maybe it's only got one color, that's what we're going to use to start. And we're going to drag it in the area that that logo was sort of in. Lovely. Oh no, Penny, you know what? The time zones got me. The time zones got me. So we got a little bit to do. That logo movement's so great. Thank you. We're going to dive in to Gaussian blur. I think I've got to be more on top of when the time zones change. We're going to slap that Gaussian blur down there and drag it out. Make it really, 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 really big. There should be a feather on that. There we go. Turn off repeat edges to make it a little bit more blurred. And for good measure, there we go. We want roughen edges. If we add roughen edges on top of that now, and we whack up, let's see, does she remember? Does she remember her practice time? Does she remember? Yes, she does. We're going to change the border to 150. We can play around with this a little bit, but ultimately we kind of want a kind of sparse effect. Nothing's need to be fixed yet. I mean, RB did mention your name, to be fair. Here she is, Pixie. Yeah! How we fix it, Betty? I would say play around with this till you find what you want. I want something that's kind of really... Ah, there we go. Ooh, that's the one. That's the ticket. Something that looks kind of like... Okay, so we've got that. And we're going to also connect it to the null, which does that effect for us. Where is my null? There it is. It's driver, isn't it? There we go. I'm going to cut it off so that it's not shown too soon. And this is actually going to be behind this one. I'm going to move it here. Let's have the scale. We could totally just copy the scale from this one and paste it here. Let's make it a little bit smaller so it looks like it comes from nowhere. It's all right if it gets a bit big. And then we need it to disappear again. This is going to make it look like it brings the logo in. So I'm going to change the timing of this perhaps. Maybe move these out. And by doing this, and we turn back on our visibility, the color gets big, and then when it slaps back down, it's going to turn into our logo. To fully cement that, all you have to do is go to opacity, move it over a little bit, have it be off in the beginning. I'm going to have it be off for a little bit longer, I think. Drag this over. Maybe a little bit more. Because we want the visibility to happen after the glow comes back in. You could probably make that last a little bit longer if you like. Definitely hop on into your graph editor just to prolong things. Prolonging is to drag the arrow out longer to make it move faster. Just drag it in or move the keyframe in. Allow yourself to play around with this for a little bit. But once you're done with that and you've got your logo popped in, you can totally add any extra text. You can add a glow onto the back of your logo as well. Oop, there we go. To make it kind of slap down a little bit harder and give it more of effect, which will ultimately end up giving you one of these. While you are doing your challenge and going ahead with your project, allow yourself to take some time to move things around. Most of the animation progress or process is doing something, realizing that maybe it doesn't feel quite right and moving it a little bit. The way that I got these other pieces in there was by being happy with one of the colors. I duplicated it and just changed the fill. So you have all of that for you. I'm really excited to see what you lot do. Don't forget to drop it in the Discord. I hope you had fun today. The force? Wait, the force. Whew. The force is strong with this one. I hope you lot enjoyed today. I know I did. We did it. It was a fast challenge, but it was a challenge nonetheless. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you again here tomorrow at 5 p.m. GMT, not 6 p.m. See you lot later. Bye. Stick around. There's more things for you coming up.